RedNationBlogga back with another video. The Houston Rockets defeat the Toronto Raptors 139-121, 18-point victory. They improved to 2-2. This team is slowly figuring it out. And as I have said, there will be growing pains with this team. This team is still learning each other. Everybody on this team is still trying to figure out pecking order and establish the new offense and adjust to Amen being point guard and Reed being point guard, and even sometimes Tari initiating offense and Sengun and Kevin Durant. Like, it's so many. It's the same pieces with the exception of one or two added pieces, and the new pieces trying to fit in with the old pieces, not step on toes. It's a lot going on right now. It's a lot going on. But in spite of that, the Houston Rockets improved to 2-2. They dominate the Toronto Raptors pretty much from the third quarter to the end of the game. They dominated. They pulled away. I mean, in the third quarter, they outscored the Raptors 36-28. And then in the fourth quarter, it was 33-20. But the Rockets really, really pulled away in that third quarter. That was really the deciding factor of the game. And there was something very key that happened in the third quarter that wasn't happening in the first half. And what that key was Ime Udoka getting away from playing the double big. I am so happy that Ime Udoka has finally decided to let me minimize the usage of double big. I know I didn't make a video during the preseason, and that was largely because I would watch when the starters was in, or I was actually going to the games, and I really wasn't tapped in like I needed to be. But I was thinking this and saying this to people that was close to me in the preseason. The Rockets do not need to rely on the double big this year as much as they did last year. It was noticeable in the preseason, and it's even more noticeable in the regular season. The game that it was most apparent to me that they didn't need to run double big was against the Atlanta Hawks, when Nickeil Alexander-Walker is shooting threes, when Jalen Johnson is shooting threes, when Trae Young is shooting threes, when Porzingis is shooting threes. When I'm seeing all of these guys just get wide open three-point looks because of the double big in the 2-3 zone, I'm over it at that point. And that was the first or second game of the preseason. They played the Hawks, so that was the first game of the preseason. At that point, I'm at the Toyota Center like, I wish they would stop running double big. It seems gimmicky. Like, last year, the Rockets became the talk of the town with the double big lineup. They became the talk of the town. The story of the season was how the Rockets have implemented Steven Adams and Alperen Sengun, and this is double big. And really, it was a triple big lineup. And it seems like the Rockets wanted to double down on that this offseason by the moves that they made. And then it was like they wanted to triple down on it and to start the season by having the tallest starting lineup since 1970-71, blah, blah, blah. To me, that's less important. I don't care about the historical precedent of the starting lineup. I care about how the offense and the team flow and the defense looked. In the first half, I took notes. In the first half, Brandon Ingram was 7 of 9 from the floor, 18 points, 2 of 3 from 3. Scotty Barnes had 14 points in the first half, 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from the three-point line. Murray Boyles, 8 points, 3 of 5 from the field goal range, 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. The Toronto Raptors shot 56% from the field, 57% from 3, had 15 assists and 5 turnovers. The only positive that you could really take away from the Houston Rockets, outside of the fact that it was a close game, outside of that fact, and the Rockets had like a minor lead, the only thing that you could take away from the game was the Rockets had out-rebounded the Toronto Raptors in the first half by 18. That was the one takeaway from the first half that was a positive for the Rockets. And again, I don't have an issue with double big when it's deployed situationally. But you're giving up way too many threes to the Toronto Raptors players. And it wasn't just the Raptors. You can go and look at the Brooklyn Nets. Double big works when you play OKC the first game of the season, and OKC shoots 13 of 52. When you have a team that shoots that poorly from three, double big works. The 2-3 zone, for all intents and purposes, is working because the other team is missing shots. The notion that you can continuously give bad shooting teams and bad shooting players wide open three after wide open three and think that they are just going to continue to miss is foolhardily. It's hogwash. That's what it is. I know you guys watch my videos. I always harken back to the 2019 series versus the Warriors and the 2020 series versus Oklahoma City Thunder. Andre Iguodala and Lou Dort were two considered non-shooters. In Game 6 of the 2019 conference semifinals, Iguodala goes 6 of 12 from the three-point line. Despite Steph Curry having 0 points in that first half, the fact that the Rockets continuously, over and over again, allowed Andre Iguodala to get a rhythm and a flow kept that game closer than what it needed to be. Instead of them just playing defense on him, putting a hand up. 2020, they did the same thing to Lou Dort, and it almost cost them in the Game 7. Because by Game 2, by Game 3, by Game 4, Lou Dort is now in a rhythm. He's feeling good about himself. His confidence has rose. You cannot give shooters in the NBA shot after shot after shot after shot, damn their percentages, and think that, oh, that's okay. They're just going to keep missing. That's not okay. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. You cannot continue to give shooters wide open shots, and that's all a double big does. We play 2-3 zone. Defense gets lackadaisical. Defense starts losing focus. Guys are wide open everywhere on the court. We're playing way too much zone in a double, and we're playing way too much double big. Ime Udoka needs to say, if Adams is playing, Clint Capella is not playing. If Clint Capella is playing, Steven Adams is not playing. The only time that both of them should be playing on the same day in the same game is if, God forbid, something happens to Alperen Sengun where he's not allowed to play, or if he's in foul trouble. And they should never be deployed together on the court. We need to stop forcing double big. Even if you go back and you look at Boston when Ime played double big in Boston, Robert Williams and Al Horford, one of those players can shoot the three. And then when he had Kristaps and Horford, they both can shoot the three and they both can play inside and out. But you cannot play. Sengun has improved his three ball, but he's not consistent enough and not taking enough at volume for it to be a trustworthy shot. So you cannot continue to deploy that lineup over and over again when the Houston Rockets continue to give up three ball after three ball after three ball. You're making Amen a worse defender. You're making Tari a worse defender. You're making everybody on this roster worse by deploying the double big. It should be deployed situationally like it was in the second half, which I will get to. In the third quarter, when they magically got away from playing double big so much and they went more to man, which shows the strength of your team with Okogie, Amen, Tari, KD. The Rockets got more turnovers. They were flying around more defensively. They were defending the rim way better. Still was rebounding. Adams still played. Capella got a DNP in the second half. Adams was still effective on the board. He didn't play with Sengun that much. I think they played 5 minutes together in the fourth quarter. They closed out the game. And at that point, the offense was kind of stagnant. The offense was kind of bogging down. And they went to the double big. And when they deployed the double big, it actually looked better. It actually looked more fluid. Now, as soon as they went to the double big, they started giving up buckets in transition. They started giving up walk-in threes again. At that point, the game was kind of over at that point. It was frustrating to see, but you didn't see that type of defense and the type of tenacity that you saw in the third quarter that you did the last 5 minutes of that fourth quarter when they were playing more of a man-to-man style. When they were playing more of a man-to-man style, you saw, oh, shoot, this team is pulling away from Toronto relatively easy. They're clearly the better team. But when they go back to zone defense, oh, here come the threes. But the offense did look better. So on that note, I'll give the Rockets credit. I'll give Ime credit because he deployed it situationally. But my thing is trying to have this be a major part of the offense, a major part of the defense, a major part of this team. And you're giving up the amount of volume that you're giving up is crazy. Going into this game, the Toronto Raptors were 30th in the NBA in three-point rate. 30th. And they got up 43s today and made 21 of them. They made more than half, 52.5% of their threes. That's ridiculous. It cannot happen. And it cannot and if it's happening versus the Raptors, what happens when they play the good teams? I am begging Ime, please stop running double big so much. Use it situationally depending on the matchup. It is okay if Clint Capella gets DMPs. I promise you it's okay. Let's get to the best part of the show. My favorite part of the show, the first one of the season, the good. Jabari Smith Jr., it's a lot of goods. Jabari Smith Jr., 25, 5, and 5. Alperen Sengun, 18, 8, and 9. Kevin Durant, 31 and 5. Amen Thompson, 18, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, plus 17. And you know what's crazy? Amen missed a lot of point blank shots at the rim. Amen had 4 turnovers, and I still got him in the good. That's how good Amen Thompson is. Amen Thompson is a really good basketball player. Steven Adams, 12 points, 12 rebounds. Tari Eason, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. The bad? 5 turnovers. Got to cut it out. Josh Okogie even, 10 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Like, everybody pretty much played great basketball today. Like, this was a complete and total dominant win. I just didn't like the amount of threes that they were giving up, and that's on me. So the good is about 9 players. The bad. Again, I know I talked about it in a whole first segment, but I'm going to go back to it and just, for the segment, I'm going to double back to it. Ime Udoka, the double big has got to go. It has, we cannot rely on the double big as much. This is not last year's team. Last year's teams had last year's problems, and we used last year's solutions on those teams. This year's team has this year's problems, and we will have to deploy this year's resolutions on it. Stop trying to solve last year's problems with last year's team with this team. It's 2 completely different situations. I will give you grace. You have new pieces as well. You're a head coach. Just like the players have to adjust, the coaching staff has to adjust. But 121 points in regulation to the Toronto Raptors, them shooting 53% from the field, Scotty Barnes having 31 points on 11 of 18 shooting, 0 turnovers. Emmanuel quickly 15 points, 7 assists. Like, it's unacceptable, brother. It's unacceptable. We cannot have that. So you got to go in the bad Ime Udoka. Minimize the double big. Make a decision with Clint Capella. Make a decision with Steven Adams. See who's going to play that day and stick with it. That's it. And the downright ugly. Listen, y'all. Even though he's in the downright ugly, I'm still going to give him patience. I told y'all this. He's a 21-year-old. In my opinion, this is his rookie year. Reed Sheppard, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 of 7 from the floor, 0 of 4 from 3. Only 18 minutes. He didn't play well tonight. He didn't play well. He wasn't as good as he needed to be defensively. He definitely wasn't as good as he was offensively. The only thing that I liked about Reed Sheppard this game was the fact that he was aggressive. His confidence was high. He was looking for his shot actively. Last year, we were begging Reed Sheppard to take shots, begging him, shoot the ball. This year, we want him to pick his spots more. I'm loving the confidence still. Every time he shoot, I'm raising up the 3. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to celebrate Reed Sheppard's success like it's my success. But he had a bad game today. Point blank period. He had a bad game today. And you got to take the good with the bad. As good as he was versus the Nets, he was just as bad tonight versus Toronto. But it's only the 4th game of the year. Reed Sheppard needs time, practice, patience. I understand the expectations that's heaped upon this team. I understand that everybody wants direct, now, immediate success. But unfortunately, that's not the hand that this team was dealt. So it's going to take patience. And let's see where we're at again. Like I said, in December, in January, in February, post All-Star break. Let's see where we're at when it comes to those moments. Then we can revisit these videos. We can revisit these moments, and we can evaluate it like that. But I don't want to be hypercritical on Reed Sheppard in 4 games, make any broad declarations. I'm not going to say he's the greatest when he has a great game. I'm not going to say he's the worst when he has a bad game. I'm not. I'm just going to stay even keel. I'm going to stay patient. I'm going to evaluate him on a game-by-game basis like I do the whole team. As always, guys, thank you for watching. The Rockets have the Boston Celtics on Saturday. I will be here Saturday night recording, editing, putting it on YouTube on all platforms. Y'all check me out, man. Let me know what I missed. Let me know what I didn't miss. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know what you didn't agree with. As always, please like and subscribe. RedNationBlogga out.